Hi everyone, Angela here. Welcome to another video. This is the ego part 3. And in this video, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about the unconscious mind ego. And I'm also going to explain the difference between the brain and the mind and your consciousness. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about the difference between the brain and the mind and your consciousness. So first we'll start with the brain. So the brain is kind of like the computer system, the hardware. So it is no less just a physical component and the vehicle that your conscious mind uses. Now the mind and your consciousness is kind of like the intelligence or the computer programmer behind the computer system or hardware. It is a spiritual component and not a physical component. And also the mind is the vehicle for your higher self, which is I am. And I am is an individualized unit of light. So you are an individualized unit of light. And I talk about this in my first video, so if you haven't watched my first video yet, I suggest going back and watching that one. And I talk about that as well as the 3 divisions of mind, which is your superconscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind. So the spirit is the vehicle for your superconscious mind. Your soul is the vehicle of your subconscious mind, and the brain and the body are the vehicle for your conscious mind. So again, the conscious mind uses the brain and the body in order to experience the physical world here. Also in the first video, I talked about how the ego mediates between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. So again, you have the conscious mind ego as well as the unconscious mind ego. And I'm going to talk about the unconscious mind ego in further detail in this video. So it is said that we have between 40 to 50,000 thoughts a day, and maybe even more. So some of these thoughts we are aware of, we are conscious of them, but there are also those that we have lesser degrees of awareness of. Therefore, they remain unconscious. Now, the type of thoughts that the ego likes to inject into the brain can be very distracting, habitual, compulsive, random, limiting, unproductive, willless, and even repetitive. Now, the power of the ego is to deceive. The ego can be a liar, a deceiver. It also can be very manipulating, controlling, cunning, subtle, as well as unreasonable and dishonest. So the unconscious mind ego will try to inject thoughts into the brain. It will try to control you through these unconscious ways of thinking and these animalistic thoughts that lie below most people's level of consciousness or awareness. The egoic brain can also become very extreme in the way that it reacts to waking conscious life experiences. And it will try to apply things such as anger, fear, rage, and hatred, and any other negative thoughts and emotions. The ego will also try to find fault with every aspect of self and everyone in one's environment. So blaming others for one's problems is an example of that. The ego will also make you believe that your self-serving, unproductive thoughts are actually valuable and good for you. This is the depths of the ego. The ego will also try to destroy and to limit the achievement of your life's purpose. So finding excuses for not accomplishing or procrastinating or not being true to oneself is essentially allowing the ego to misuse your power and to defeat your soul's purpose in life. Also, the ego is only as strong as your beliefs are. So in the next video, I am going to talk about how to overcome the ego and to become more consciously aware of your thoughts. So that sums up the video here for the ego part 3. Be sure to join me for the ego part 4. And let me know if you have any questions or comments below in the video. And until then, I hope you're doing well. Take care, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.